Hi students, so in the last class we discussed about some types of shapes. That's line segment, line, then based on open curve, closed curve, etc. Okay. So today we are going to start our next chapter. It's a fifth chapter, understanding elementary shapes. Okay. So in this chapter mostly deals with the measuring of the segments, about angles and its types, about triangles, etc., about polygons and classification of polygons, polygons, etc. So we use also we studied about line segment in our previous classes. Okay, so a line segment has two endpoints. If you draw a line segment like this, and the line segment has two endpoints, and we name as A, B. So the line segment lies on point A and B. Point A and B lies on line segment AB. Okay. So here we use a ruler to find the length of the line segment. Okay. So you also use a ruler to find the length of the line segment, and also we use the divider to find the length of the line segment. Okay. So a ruler or a divider is generally used to find the length of a line segment. Then the length of a line segment can be defined as the distance between its two ends. Okay, so the length of the line segment can be defined as the distance between the two ends. That is, the distance between A and B is the length of this line segment. So we use a ruler or a divider to find the length of a line segment. Okay, like we draw a line segment like this. And this is line segment AB, and we use a ruler to find the length of the line segment like this. Means the distance between the point A and B is known as the line segment or length of the line segment, and this measures 56 centimeter. Okay, so like this you also use a ruler or divider to find the length of a line segment. So what's the length of a line segment is? This defined as the distance between the two ends of a line segment is its length. Okay. So in this chapter we are going to study about angles and its types, and about triangles and its types, and about polygons. Okay. So first one, angles and its types. So we have studied about angles in our previous chapter, and in this chapter we studied about different types of angles and its types. Angles and its types. Okay. So angles and types, based on the degrees, angles can be classified into three types. Before that, you also see a clock and the movement of hands of a clock. Okay. And when a clock hands moves, it forms an angle. If it is represents a clock. And here the hands of a clock moves and it forms an angle. And here it forms an angle 30 degree. Then another, it makes 30 plus 30, 60 degree. And the hands start from 12 and reaches to 3, it makes an angle 90 degree. Okay. So the angle like this. So angle measures 90 degree. Okay. So it is known as right angle. Okay, so this is the angle known as right angle. So right angle measures 90 degree. Okay, when the angle moves start from 12 and it reaches to 6 like this, it reaches to 6. Then it forms an angle, and it is known as straight angle. Straight angle. Okay, and this angle measures 180 degree, and this angle measures 180 degree, and it is called a straight angle. Okay, so straight angle means the angle measures 180 degree is known as straight angle. And for another example, if the hand moves from 3 and another hand reaches to 9, then it also form an angle, that is straight angle 180 degree. Okay, so the angle which measures like this is 90 degree, and this is called the right angle. This is the types of right angle. Then the angle measures like this Okay, so based on the degrees, angles can be classified into three types. Okay, so they are acute angle, then obtuse angle, and reflex angle. So first one, acute angle. Then you also studied in your previous classes about acute angle, then obtuse angle and reflex angle. Acute angle, acute angle. The next one, obtuse angle, and reflex angle. Third one, reflex angle. So these are the classification based on the degrees. Okay, so the angle 90 degree is at a right angle, and the angle measures 180 degree is a straight angle. So based on these degrees, then the angles are classified into three types: acute angle, obtuse angle, and reflex angle. So acute angle means that when the angle measures less than right angle, an angle measures less than right angle. Right angle means the angle measures 90 degree. So acute angles means the angle measures less than 90 degree. Less than right angle or less than 90 degree. Less than right angle or less than 90 degree. This is called an acute angle. So acute angle means the angle measures less than 90 degree or less than right angle is known as acute angle. For example, draw a figure like this. Then this is the meeting point of two line segment and forms an angle, and this angle measures less than 90 degree. That can be identified by using a protractor. Okay, so that we will discuss in our next classes. And it measures, this is the angle, and it measures less than 90 degree. So it's an acute angle. Okay, then obtuse angle. Obtuse angle means the angle measures more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, which means the angle is greater than right angle and less than straight angle. Okay, so if an angle we draw like this is not a right angle. Okay, and this is more than 90 degree. This shows more than 90 degree, and this is not a straight angle, like this less than 180 degree, and it is a type of obtuse angle. Okay, so the angle measures more than right angle, which means greater than right angle. Right angle means 90 degree, greater than right angle, and less than straight angle, and it is called an obtuse angle, which means the angle which is greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree is an obtuse angle. Then the third one is the reflex angle. Reflex angle means the angle which shows more than 180 degree, which means the angle measures more than straight angle, then it is known as reflex angle. Okay, like this. If an angle shows, this is straight angle. Okay, this is a straight angle, and this shows 180 degree. So reflex angle means more than 180 degree. More than 180 degree. This shows a reflex angle. Okay, so reflex angle means like this. And here the angle between here. This angle shows more than 180 degree, and it is an example of reflex angle. So these are the classification based on degrees. So reflex angle means more than straight angle. The angle more than straight angle or more than 180 degree is known as reflex angle. So the angles can be classified into three types based on degrees. The first one is acute angle. Acute angle means the angle is less than, or the angle measures less than right angle, which means the angle measures less than 90 degree. Then the angle is said to be acute angle. Then second one, obtuse angle. Obtuse angle means the angle measures greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. Okay, so the angle measures more than right angle and less than straight angle is known as obtuse angle. Then reflex angle. Reflex angle means the angle measures more than 180 degree or more than straight angle, then it is said to be reflex angle. Understood? Then, so these are the three types of angles. based on the degrees. So which are the acute angle, obtuse angle and reflex angle. Then we are going to study about triangles and its shape types. Okay, so triangle means triangles have three sides and three vertices. Okay, so this is a triangle. And the triangle, then we can see that triangle are of different types. Okay, so some triangles are three sides are equal and some of them are two sides are equal. Then other types of triangles are three sides are different. Okay, so then we are going to study about triangles and its types. Okay, so a triangle can be classified based on its length or based on its length and sides and by its angle. Okay, so a triangle can be classified according to their length, then based on their angles and based on their sides. Okay, so first one is based on their sides. Our next portion is triangles. And the first classification based on their sides. And the first classification based on their sides. And based on the sides, the triangles can be classified into three types. They are equilateral triangles, the isosceles triangles and scalene triangles. First one is equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles means all three sides. Triangles have three sides and the three sides are equal, then it is said to be an equilateral triangles. If you draw a triangle like this, and these are the three sides of the triangle, and may be named as A, B, C, and this is triangle A, B, C, and this side means AB measures 2 centimeter, and if AC also measures 2 centimeter and BC measures 2 centimeter, then the three sides of the triangles is equal. So it is said to be an equilateral triangle. Okay, so all three sides of a triangle are equal, then it is said to be an equilateral triangles. Then next one is isosceles triangles. Okay. Isosceles triangle, which means any two sides of a triangle are equal, then it is said to be an isosceles triangle. This means the legs of the two legs of the triangles are equal length, like this. These are the two legs of the triangle, and it measures and named as P2R. Okay, and the side P2 measures 3 centimeter, and the side PR also measures 3 centimeter, and the side QR measures 1 centimeter. Okay, so here the two sides of the triangles are equal and one side is different from the two sides. Okay, then it is said to be an isosceles triangles. Then third one is scalene triangles. Scalene triangles, which means the three sides are different. All three sides of the triangles are different. Then it is said to be an scalene triangles, like this. If we draw a triangle like this way, and here it measures 2 centimeter, and here this is 3 centimeter, and here this is 4 centimeter. Then we can say that the three sides of the triangles are different length, and it is an scalene triangles. Okay, so these are the three types of triangles based on the size. These are the classification based on the sides of the triangle. So equilateral triangles, isosceles triangles and scalene triangles. Equilateral triangles means the three sides of a triangle are of equal length, then it is said to be an equilateral triangle. Then isosceles triangles means if any two sides of the triangles are equal, then it is said to be an isosceles triangle. So mostly two legs of the length of two legs of the triangles are equal length, then it is said to be an isosceles triangle. Then scalene triangle means the three sides of the triangles are of different length, then it is said to be an scalene triangle. Okay, so these are the classification based on the sides of a triangle. Then next one is based on its angles. Okay, so we have also studied about classification of angles based on degrees. So that is acute angle, obtuse angle and reflex angle. So like this, based on their angles, triangles can be further classified into 3 types. Okay, so based on angles, so based on angles, triangles can be further classified into 3 types. They are acute angle triangles, right angled triangles and obtuse angled triangles. So acute angled triangles means all the angles are acute. So acute means it's less than 90 degree. Okay, so first one is acute angled triangle. Acute angled triangles, which means all the angles are acute. All the angles are acute. Then it is said to be an acute angled triangle. Then next one is right angle, that we have acute based on acute angle that we have discussed earlier. And next one is right angle. Right angle means any one angle is a right angle, then it is said to be a right angle. Like this right angle means 90 degrees. It measures 90 degree. Here this angle measures 90 degree and the one of the angle measures 90 degree, then it is said to be a right angled triangle. Then next one is obtuse angled triangle. Obtuse angled triangle. Obtuse angled triangles means any one angle is obtuse. So what do you mean obtuse? Obtuse angles means it is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. So any of the angle is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, then the triangle is said to be obtuse angled triangles. Okay, so based on angles, the triangles are classified into 3 types. They are acute angled triangle, then right angled triangle and obtuse angled triangle. Acute angle triangle means all the angles are acute. All the angles are acute, which means all the angles are less than 90 degree, then it is said to be an acute angled triangle. Then right angled triangle. Right angled triangle means any one angle is a right angle, or any one angle is measures 90 degree, then it is said to be a right angled triangle. Then obtuse angle triangle means if you draw a triangle, then if any one of the angle measures more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, then it is said to be an obtuse angled triangle. Okay, so these are the classification of angles and triangles that we discussed in our first chapter, 5th chapter. Okay, then the chapter deals with about polygons. Okay, that we will also discuss in our previous classes. Polygons. Polygons are entirely made of line segment. Okay, so and they are also closed figures like this. So it's a triangle. It's a polygon because the triangle is entirely made up of line segment and it's also a closed figure. Then it is said to be a polygon. Okay, is circle is a polygon or not? Circle is not a polygon because it is not made up of line segment. Okay, so this is not, but it is a closed figure, but it is not made up of entirely with line segment. Then the circle is not a polygon. Okay, so then a rectangle, square, etc. are made up of entirely with line segment and these are closed figures, then it is said to be polygons. Okay, and a polygon with 2 sides are not possible. If we draw a like this, then it contains 2 sides. These are the 2 sides of the figure. Then it is not a polygon because it is not closed. Then it is also not a polygon. So this is not entirely made up of line segment. These 2 sides are line segment. It is not a line segment. So it is not a polygon. Okay. So polygon means the lines, the figure that is entirely made up of line segment. Then it is said to be a polygon. And the polygons are classified into different types according to their size. Okay. So here this figure shows 3 sides. A, B, C. This is the first side and this is the second side and this is the third side. So this figure figure shows three sides and it is called a triangle. Okay, so the polygon with three sides is called a triangle. The polygon with three sides are called a triangle. And the polygon, this is a polygon and it has four sides, A, B, C, D. This is side, then another side, and the fourth side. So it is the polygon with four sides are called quadrilaterals. Okay, quadrilaterals. And the polygons with five sides are called pentagon. The polygons with five sides are called pentagon. Here A, B, C, D, E. And these figures means four sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It contains four sides. Sorry, five sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five sides. And the polygons with five sides are called pentagon. The polygons with the five sides are called pentagon. Okay. Then the polygons with six sides. And the polygons with six sides are called hexagon. Then the polygons with seven sides are called heptagon. And the polygons with eight sides are called octagon. And the polygons with nine sides are called pentagon. And the polygons with 10 sides are called decagon. That we will discuss in our next classes. Okay. So the types of polygons are will be discussed in our next classes. So today we are going to discuss about angles and its types, and about triangles and its types, and polygons. So the polygons with three sides are called a triangle, and polygons with four sides are called quadrilaterals, and triangles, squares are quadrilaterals because they are four sides. Polygon with four sides. Then the polygon have five sides are called the pentagon, and six sides hexagon, and seven sides heptagon, and eight sides octagon, and nine sides are nonagon, and a polygon with 10 sides is called decagon. Okay, so these are the classification of polygons based on their size. So these are the things that we are going to study about in our fifth chapter. Okay. So next we are going to solve our exercise portion, and here exercise 5.1. Okay, so take your page number 88 and exercise 5.1. So we have studied about ruler and divider. We use a ruler or divider to find the length of a line segment. Okay, on the first question, exercise 5.1. Exercise 5.1, and the first question is, what is the disadvantage in comparing line segment by mere observation? So what is the disadvantages in comparing line segment by mere observation? So by mere observation we cannot compare the line segment with slight difference in their length. We cannot say which is the greater by according to their correct length. Then hence the chances of error is due to error occurs due to the mere observations. So disadvantages of mere observation. So by mere observation we cannot compare the line segment with slight difference in their length, and we cannot say which line segment of the greater length or which line segment of the smaller length. We cannot compare the two line segments according to their length correctly. Okay, so this is the disadvantages of mere observation. Then second question, why is it better to use a divider than a ruler by measuring the length of a line segment? So question, why is better to use a divider than a ruler? We use a divider or ruler to find the length of a line segment, and here the question is, why is it better to use a divider than a ruler while measuring the length of a line segment? So So if you use a ruler, then there is chance to error, which means the thickness of the ruler based on due to the thickness of the ruler, chances to error occurs. Okay. So if we use a divider, accurate measurement is possible. So like this, or because it is better to use a divider than a ruler to find the length of the line segment. Okay. So by using a ruler, chances of error occurs due to the thickness of the ruler. If we use a divider to find the length of a line segment, and the measurement is accurate measurement is possible. Okay. So next question. Draw any line segment, say AB, line segment AB. Here, line segment AB, line segment AB. Take any point C lying in between A and B. Measure the length of AB, BC and AC, and prove that is AB is equal to AC plus AB, CB. Okay. So the question is, draw any line segment, say line segment AB. Draw any line segment, say line segment AB. Okay. So here I draw a line segment. Line segment AB. So you also use a ruler to draw a line segment AB. So this is a line segment AB. You also use a ruler to draw a line segment. Then find the length. Okay, so here this line segment is 34 centimeter. Okay, I use this ruler to draw this line, and this shows 34 centimeter. And for example, I am drawing. You also use your ruler like this. Okay, so you also use your ruler. Then draw a line segment AB. Draw a line segment AB. And here, if we draw a line segment arm length 8 centimeter. Okay, then named as AB. First we draw the line segment AB with length 8 centimeter. If the line segment measures 8 centimeter, draw a line segment measures 8 centimeter. Then point C lies between A and B. Then put a point C between A and B. Here I mark here point C. Okay. Then measures the length of AC and measures the length of AB. And you put your ruler here. Then find the length between the distance between A and C. If the distance is between A and C is 5 centimeter, then the distance between C and D is 3 centimeter. Okay, then we can see that AB is equal to AC plus CD or BC. That means AB measures 5 centimeter. Sorry, AC measures 5 centimeter. Then plus CD measures 3 centimeter. That is equal to 5 plus 3, we get 8 centimeter, and this is equal to AB. AB measures 8 centimeter. Okay, so hence the point lies between A and C. Sorry, and hence AB is equal to, C is the point lies between A and B. Then AB is equal to sum of AC and BC. Sum of AC plus BC. Okay, so you should also draw a line segment of any length. Then mark the point C lies between A and B. Then find the length of AC and BC. Then prove that AB is equal Okay. The next question, fourth question, if A, B, C are 3 points on a line such that AB is equal to 5 cm, BC is equal to 3 cm and AC is equal to 8 cm, which one of them lies between the other two? So here the points on a line segment are A, B and C. Are the 3 points A, B and C are the 3 points on a line segment. On a line, then AB is equal to 5 cm. AB is equal to 5 cm. Then BC is equal to 3 cm. BC is equal to 3 cm. Then AC is equal to 8 cm. AC is equal to 8 cm. And the question is, which one of them lies between other two? Okay, here AB measures 5 cm, then BC measures 3 cm, AC is equal to 8 cm, and here AC is the sum of AB and BC. Okay, so here AC is the sum of AB and BC. That is 5 plus 3 we get 8 cm. And here these 2 points AB and BC, here B is a common point. So B is lies between the 2 points. Okay, B is lies between A and C. If we draw a line, the line segment is like this. Here A, C and B is lies between A and C. So B is the point lies between the other 2 points. Then next question. Verify whether D is the midpoint of line segment AG. Line segment AG. So here a figure is given like this. The line and marked as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay. And the point 1 marked as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we want to verify D. D is the midpoint of AG. So AG is the line segment shows AG and shows prove that D is the midpoint of the segment AG. Okay, so here this is the line segment AG and this is the point lies between the line segment AG. And want to show that D is the midpoint of the line segment AG. For that, here D is from A to D. From A to D, how many units? 3 units. 1, 2 and 3. A to D is equal to 3 units. And from D to G, from D to D is also 1, 2, 3 is equal to 3 units. Okay, so the units of AD is equal to G. AD and G has 3 units. So this G is the midpoint of the line segment AG. D is the midpoint of the line segment AG. The next question, question number 6. If B is the midpoint of line segment AC, if B is the midpoint of the line segment AC and C is the midpoint of line segment BD and C is the midpoint of line segment BD where A, B, C, D lies on a straight line, say YAB is equal to CD. So read the question carefully and draw a line segment according to the question. Okay. So the 6th question is, if B is the midpoint of line segment AC. So first you draw a line segment AC. Okay. So draw a line segment, then named as point A and B. So this is the line segment. Line segment AC. Line segment AC. Then if B is the midpoint of line segment AC. So Mark point B lies between AC and mark point B here. Okay, so here point B is the midpoint of line segment AC. For that, first we draw the line segment AC, then mark the point B lies between A and C, and also is the midpoint of line segment AC. Then the question is, and C is the midpoint of BD. C is the midpoint of D. So here C is this point. Then the question is going to be C is the midpoint of line segment BD. So extended the line segment D and mark D. Here D is the line segment, like D is the midpoint of the line segment AC, which means AB is equal to BC. AB is equal to BC and AB plus BC is equal to AC. Okay, so for example, you draw AB has 2 centimeter. Then you also take the difference between, or the length difference between BC is also taken as 2 centimeter. That is, AB is equal to 2 centimeter. Then BC is equal to 2 centimeter. Then we can say that B is the midpoint of the line segment AC. Then AC measures 4 centimeter. That is AB plus BC. AB is equal to 2 centimeter. BC is equal to 2 centimeter. Then AC measures 2 plus 2, 4 centimeter. Okay. Then the question is, C is the midpoint of line segment BD. Here BC is equal to 2 centimeter. C is the midpoint of BD. So you take the length of or distance of CD is also taken as 2 centimeter. Okay. Then BC is equal to CD. Then we can say that C is the midpoint of line segment BD, and the line segment BD is also measures up 4 centimeter. That is 2 plus 2. Okay. So all the line segments are of equal length. Then we can say that B is the midpoint of AC and C is the midpoint of BD. Okay. If the line segment AB measures 2 centimeter, BC measures also 2 centimeter. AB is equal to 2 centimeter and BC is also 2 centimeter. Then we can say that B is the midpoint of AC. And here C is the midpoint of line segment BD. Hence BC is equal to 2 centimeter and CD is equal to 2 centimeter. If BC is equal to CD, then we can say that C is the midpoint of the line segment BD. Okay. So next question. Draw 5 triangles and measure their sides. Okay. So you should draw any 5 triangles and measure their sides. First one, for example, you draw a triangle like this way and measures the sides of the triangles. Okay. So measure the length of the triangles using a ruler. Using your ruler, you should find the length of the triangles, and this side measures 10 centimeter. And here another side. And the triangle is named as ABC. Okay. You name the triangle anyway, B2R or EFG, etc. Okay. And here this angle measures. And this angle. And this is 26 centimeter, and here it measures 32 centimeter. Okay, like this you draw any 5 triangles and measure the length of each of their sides. Okay, so by using your ruler you find the length of this side and also find the length of this side and find the length of the third side of the triangles. And check in each case if the sum of the length of any 2 sides is always less than the third side. Okay, so here take any sum of the length of any 2 sides here. equal to 26 centimeter, and here BC is equal to 32 centimeter. And we take the sum of any two sides. If I take the sum of these two sides, that is AB plus AC, AB plus AC, and AB measures 10 centimeters equal to 10 centimeter plus AC. AC is this side. Okay, AC measures 26 centimeter, and we add 10 plus 26, we get 36 centimeter, and it is greater than the other side, that is AB plus AC. That is the sum of these two sides are greater than the other side, which is greater than the side BC. So it is greater than BC. 36 is greater than the side BC, or AB plus BC. We take the sum of these two sides, okay, AB plus AC, which is greater than the other side, that is BC. Okay, BC is 32 centimeter, and we get the sum of AB plus AC as 36 centimeter. So it is greater than the other side. So like this, you draw any 5 triangles and find the length of each sides of the triangles, and in each case you should take any sum of any two sides and state this greater or less than the other side. So okay, that's your homework. So our 5 exercise 5.1 is over. The next exercise we will discuss in our next class. Okay, thank you.